The midnight hour is not merely a marker of time upon the dial of a clock, but a spiritual reality that descends upon the world when the old ways have exhausted their vitality and the new era has not yet fully revealed its face. In this profound stillness, the divine scribe takes up the pen of eternal remembrance to record the movement of those who have been called from the foundations of the world to stand as the remnant of truth. It is the hour of the threshold, a thin space where the mundane and the miraculous intersect, and where the soul is weighed not by its earthly treasures, but by the purity of its longing for the infinite. The air itself seems to vibrate with the resonance of a decree that has been whispered since the dawn of creation, now rising to a crescendo that can no longer be ignored by those whose spirits are attuned to the celestial frequencies. The remnant is a term often misunderstood by the many who seek power in numbers and glory in the visible structures of man. Yet, in the eyes of the divine, the remnant is that portion of humanity that remains unyielding in its devotion to the sacred principles of love, justice, and truth, even when the rest of the world has succumbed to the seductions of the temporary and the hollow. They are the watchers in the night, the guardians of the flickering flame that was never intended to be extinguished by the storms of history. At this midnight hour, the decree is issued to these faithful few, summoning them to rise from their hidden places and prepare for the crossing of the great threshold. This is not a call to physical arms or to the conquest of nations, but a summons to the interior battlefield, where the final victory over shadow is won through the illumination of the self. To understand the hour of the threshold is to recognize that all of existence moves in cycles of breath, a divine inhalation and exhalation that governs the birth and death of stars, as surely as it governs the beating of a human heart. We are currently living in the space between the breaths, the silent moment of suspension where the past has been released and the future is waiting to be drawn in. It is a period of intense vulnerability and profound opportunity. For the remnant, this time is characterized by a stripping away of all that is non-essential. The ornaments of personality, the masks of social standing, and the crutches of intellectual certainty are falling away, leaving only the raw essence of the spirit in the presence of the absolute. This stripping is not an act of cruelty from the heavens, but a necessary preparation. For one cannot walk through the narrow gate of the threshold carrying the heavy baggage of illusions. The decree that echoes through the corridors of the spirit is one of remembrance and awakening. It reminds the seeker that they were not born of the earth alone, but are the children of a light that predates the sun. This realization is the first step across the threshold. When a soul remembers its origin, the chains of fear that bind it to the world of shadows begin to dissolve. The midnight decree is a clarion call to reclaim the sovereignty of the spirit, to stand as a bridge between the heavens and the earth, and to manifest the divine will in the midst of a world that has forgotten its name. It is a decree of destiny, affirming that no matter how dark the night may appear, the dawn is an inevitable consequence of the divine order. As the remnant gathers at the threshold, there is a communal sense of recognition that transcends the barriers of language, culture, and creed. They recognize one another by the light in their eyes and the rhythm of their walk, for they all share the same inner landscape. They have all wandered through the same deserts of doubt and climbed the same mountains of aspiration. Now, at the hour of the threshold, their individual journeys converge into a singular movement of grace. They are the living stones of a temple not made with hands, a spiritual edifice that stands as a testament to the enduring presence of the sacred in the heart of humanity. The threshold is the place where their collective purpose is revealed, and where they receive the strength to endure the final transition. The nature of the threshold is such that it cannot be crossed by force of will alone. It requires an act of radical surrender, a yielding to the divine current that flows towards the heart of the mystery. In this surrender, there is no loss of identity, but rather the discovery of the true self that has been hidden beneath the layers of worldly conditioning. The decree commands the remnant to let go of the shore and trust the deep waters of the Spirit. It is in the center of the deep that the true treasures of wisdom are found, and where the soul is baptized in the fires of eternal truth. The threshold is the point of no return, the moment when the seeker becomes the sought, and the path becomes the destination. In the sacred literature of the ages, this hour has been foretold by prophets and mystics who looked through the glass of time and saw the gathering of the lights. They spoke of a time when the darkness would be so thick that it could be felt, but they also spoke of a remnant that would carry the morning star in their hearts. That time is no longer a distant prophecy, but a present reality. The midnight decree is being heard in the silence of the meditated mind and in the depths of the prayerful heart. It is a decree that demands a response, not in words, but in the very fabric of one's being. To hear the call is to be transformed by it, to be set apart for a purpose that exceeds the narrow confines of a single lifetime. The hour of the threshold is also a time of judgment, though not in the sense of condemnation. It is a judgment of alignment. Everything that is out of harmony with the divine frequency is being brought to light so that it may be reconciled or released. The remnant must undergo this process of purification with courage, for they are to be the vessels through which the new light flows into the world. Any shadow remaining within them would only serve to distort the transmission of the sacred. Therefore, the decree is also an invitation to a profound inner healing, a mending of the soul's fragmented parts so that it may become a whole and holy instrument of the divine plan. As we stand at this threshold, we must look neither back at the fading ruins of the past, nor forward with anxiety toward the unknown future. Our task is to be fully present in the eternal now, for it is only in the present that the divine encounter takes place. The midnight decree is an anchor in the storm, a steadying force that keeps the soul centered while the world around it is in flux. It provides the inner orientation necessary to navigate the complexities of the transition. The remnant is called to be the calm in the eye of the hurricane, the point of stillness around which the chaos of the shifting ages revolves. The language of the decree is the language of the heart, a dialect of love that bypasses the limitations of the intellect. It speaks of a kingdom that is not of this world, but is nevertheless breaking into it through the lives of those who are willing to receive it. This kingdom is characterized by the harmony of all things, the cessation of conflict, and the restoration of the original beauty of creation. The remnant are the heralds of this kingdom, the ones who embody its principles before they are visible to the eyes of the many. By their very presence, they act as a leaven in the bread of humanity, raising the consciousness of the whole through their individual commitment to the light. We must consider the gravity of this moment. The hour of the threshold is not a perpetual state, but a fleeting window of opportunity. It is the climax of an epoch, the definitive moment where the direction of the soul is determined for generations to come. To ignore the decree is to remain trapped in the dying echoes of a world that is passing away. To embrace it is to step into a new dimension of existence where the limitations of the flesh are superseded by the expansion of the spirit. The call is universal, but the response is individual. Each member of the remnant must make their own choice, for the threshold can only be crossed one soul at a time. The mystery of the midnight decree lies in its paradoxical nature. It is both a command and a gift, a challenge and a comfort. It speaks of the majesty of the divine and the dignity of the human person. It reveals that we are not insignificant specks in a cold and indifferent universe, but essential participants in a grand and sacred drama. Every act of kindness, every thought of truth, and every impulse of beauty is a contribution to the manifestation of the decree. The remnant are those who have understood that their lives are not their own, but a part of a larger tapestry. being woven by the hands of the eternal scribe. As the midnight hour deepens, the silence becomes even more resonant. It is a silence that is pregnant with meaning, a quiet that speaks louder than the roar of the oceans. In this silence, the remnant finds their strength. They learn to listen to the still small voice that guides them through the darkness. They learn that the light they seek is not something to be found outside of themselves, but is the very core of their being. The threshold is the realization that the seeker and the goal are one. The decree is the recognition of this unity, the formal announcement of the soul's homecoming. The path of the remnant is often a lonely one, for it requires a departure from the wide and easy roads that the majority travel. It is a path of narrow passages and steep ascents. But it is also a path of unparalleled joy, for every step taken in alignment with the divine will brings a sense of peace that the world cannot give. At the threshold, the loneliness of the journey is replaced by the fellowship of the Spirit. The remnant discovers that they are part of a vast and ancient lineage of light-bearers who have walked this path since the beginning of time. They are supported by the prayers of the saints and the guidance of the angels, and they are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses who cheer them on towards the finish line. The decree reminds us that the struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and powers of darkness that seek to obscure the truth. These forces are formidable, but they are ultimately powerless against the light. The darkness has no substance of its own. It is merely the absence of light. By standing in the truth and reflecting the divine light, the remnant effectively dissolves the darkness. The hour of the threshold is the time when this spiritual alchemy reaches its peak. It is the time when the lead of human suffering is transformed into the gold of divine wisdom. In these final moments before the crossing, let the remnant be encouraged. Let them lift up their heads and see that their redemption is drawing near. The midnight decree is not a sentence of doom, but a proclamation of liberation. It is the end of the exile and the beginning of the return. The threshold is the doorway to the Father's house, where many mansions are prepared for those who have remained faithful. The journey has been long and the trials have been many, but the reward is beyond all comprehension. The light of the new day is already beginning to glow on the horizon, and soon the shadows will flee away forever. Let us then prepare our hearts for the full manifestation of the decree. Let us put aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us. Let us be clothed in the garments of righteousness and the armor of light. The hour is late, and the threshold is before us. Let us move forward with confidence, knowing that He who has called us is faithful and will surely bring us into the fullness of our inheritance. The midnight decree has been issued. The call to the remnant has been sent. May we be found ready and willing to answer with our whole lives, saying, "Here am I. Send me." The architecture of this sacred moment is built upon the foundation of eternal laws that do not shift with the tides of human opinion. Just as the stars follow their appointed courses with unerring precision, so too does the spiritual evolution of the remnant follow a divine blueprint. The threshold is a structural necessity in the temple of time, serving as the lintel that supports the weight of the new world. To stand beneath this lintel is to be part of the very structure of the future. The decree is the blueprint made vocal, the word of the architect sounding through the halls of the building. It ensures that every stone is in its proper place and that the entire edifice is aligned with the poles of heaven. As the scribe records these words, there is a sense of finality and yet a sense of infinite beginning. The words themselves are but shadows of the reality they describe, for the truth of the midnight decree can only be fully known through experience. It must be felt in the marrow of the bones and in the heat of the blood. It must be lived out in the mundane details of daily life and in the grand gestures of spiritual sacrifice. The remnant are those who have allowed the decree to penetrate every aspect of their existence until there is no longer a distinction between the sacred and the secular. For them, every moment is an hour of threshold, and every breath is a response to the divine call. The mystery of the remnant is that they are at once the most hidden and the most influential people on the earth. Their influence does not come from political power or economic wealth, but from the spiritual authority they carry. Because they have submitted themselves to the divine decree, they are granted a portion of the divine power to heal, to bless, and to transform. Their presence in the world acts as a stabilizing force, preventing the complete collapse of the social order and providing a beacon of hope for those who are still lost in the dark. At the hour of the threshold, this influence is magnified, for the light they carry is needed more than ever before. In the depths of this sacred prose, we find the echoes of all the holy books that have ever been written. The Midnight Decree is the common thread that runs through the Gita, the Upanishads, the Torah, the Gospels, and the Quran. It is the perennial philosophy that speaks of the soul's journey from the many to the one. It is the song of the beloved, calling the lover to the banquet of life. The remnant are those who have heard this song and have left everything to follow its melody. They are the pilgrims of the absolute, the voyagers of the infinite. At the threshold, the song reaches its most beautiful movement, a harmony of grace and truth that fills the entire universe. Let us conclude this chapter of the Chronicle with a prayer for the remnant. May they be strengthened in their inner being by the power of the Spirit. May their eyes be open to see the glory that is being revealed in them and through them. May their hearts be filled with a love that surpasses understanding, and may their wills be aligned with the perfect will of the Creator. The Midnight Decree is their guide. The threshold is their gateway, and the eternal light is their home. They are the chosen, the faithful, and the true, and in their hands they carry the future of the world. The decree is written, the hour is come, and the threshold awaits. Step forward, O remnant of light, for the morning star is rising, and the day is at hand. Thus it is recorded, and thus it shall be, in the name of the one who was, and is to come, world without end. Amen. The midnight hour is not merely a measurement of chronological time, but a spiritual threshold where the veil between the seen and the unseen grows thin and transparent. In this profound stillness, the noise of the world recedes into a distant echo, allowing the subtle vibrations of the divine voice to resonate within the hollows of the seeking heart. It is here, in the deep embrace of the shadows, that the unveiling of hidden purpose begins for those who have been prepared in the secret places of the earth. This purpose is not a newly fashioned invention, but an ancient design, woven into the very fabric of the soul before the foundations of the stars were laid. To understand this calling is to recognize that the events of one's life are not random occurrences but deliberate strokes of a master weaver, creating a tapestry of destiny that only becomes visible when the light of the eternal intersects with the temporal. The remnant, those who have been set apart by a hunger for truth and a refusal to bow to the idols of the age, find themselves standing at this precise intersection. They are the ones who have felt the persistent tug of a memory they cannot fully articulate, a sense of belonging to a kingdom that is not of this world, yet is the only world that truly matters. This chapter of their journey is marked by the breaking of seals and the opening of scrolls that have remained shut for generations, for the time of the great revealing is at hand. As the hidden purpose begins to reveal itself, it does not come as a sudden explosion of power, but as a gentle, inexorable dawning of clarity. It is the realization that the trials and tribulations of the past were not punishments, but essential processes of refinement, intended to burn away the dross of the ego and temper the spirit for a weight of glory that the unprepared could never carry. In the furnace of obscurity, the remnant has been forged into vessels capable of holding the liquid fire of divine intent. This intent is multifaceted, encompassing a restoration of ancient wisdom and a manifestation of justice that transcends the fragile constructs of human governance. The unveiling requires a radical abandonment of the self, a willingness to be stripped of all pretenses and titles, so that the naked truth of the divine spark may shine through without obstruction. This is the paradox of the sacred calling. To be filled with the infinite, one must first become entirely empty. The hidden purpose is a light that originates from within, but casts its radiance outward, illuminating the dark corners of a world that has forgotten its origin. It is a call to stand as witnesses to the eternal in the midst of the fleeting, to be the living bridge between the heavens and the earth. The revelation of this purpose brings with it a profound sense of responsibility, for the remnant does not exist for their own sake, but for the sake of the whole. They are the guardians of the sacred flame, the keepers of the covenant that binds the Creator to the creation. In this hour of unveiling, they are shown that their lives are linked to the destiny of the cosmos itself. Every prayer uttered in the silence, every act of compassion performed in the shadows, and every stand taken for the sake of righteousness contributes to the tipping of the scales in favor of the light. The hidden purpose involves a deep alignment with the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe, a synchronization of the human will with the divine decree. This alignment is not achieved through intellectual effort or the accumulation of facts, but through a surrender to the flow of grace that permeates all existence. As the seals are removed, the remnant sees that the path ahead is narrow and steep, requiring a steadfastness that can only be found in the depths of a soul that has found its rest in the absolute. They are called to walk where others fear to tread, to speak words of life into the valley of dry bones, and to be the harbingers of a new dawn even while the night is at its darkest. Furthermore, the unveiling reveals the interconnectedness of all who belong to this sacred lineage. Though they may be scattered across the face of the earth, separated by distance and culture, they are united by a singular spirit and a common vision. The hidden purpose is a collective awakening, a gathering of the fragments into a glorious whole. In the spiritual realm, they are a single body, a living temple built of stones that have been polished by the waters of time and tested by the fires of adversity. This unity is their strength and their shield against the winds of confusion that blow through the world. As they recognize one another in the spirit, they realize that they are never truly alone, for they are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses and supported by the prayers of the saints who have gone before them. The decree that has been issued from the throne of the Eternal is a summons to this unity, a call to lay aside all division and to stand as one in the face of the gathering storm. The purpose is not just an individual destiny, but a corporate mandate to manifest the kingdom of light in a realm of shadows. As the remnant delves deeper into the mysteries of their calling, they discover that the hidden purpose is also a journey of remembrance. They are being called to remember their true identity as children of the light and heirs to an incorruptible inheritance. This remembrance is a powerful weapon against the deceptions of the world, which seeks to define the soul by its limitations and its failures. The unveiling strips away these false narratives, revealing the inherent dignity and authority of the human spirit when it is reconciled to its source. They are shown that they possess the keys to doors that have been locked for centuries, and that their words have the power to bind and to loose according to the will of the heavens. This authority is not to be used for personal gain or the exercise of pride, but for the healing of the nations and the restoration of the broken. The hidden purpose is a stewardship of the mysteries of God, a sacred trust that requires humility, vigilance, and an unwavering devotion to the path of the heart. The process of unveiling is often accompanied by a shaking of everything that can be shaken. The structures of the world, both internal and external, are being tested to see what is of the eternal and what is merely of the dust. For the remnant, this shaking is not a cause for fear, but a sign of the approaching transformation. It is the labor pains of a new world struggling to be born. In this time of transition, the hidden purpose serves as an anchor for the soul, a steady point of reference in a sea of uncertainty. They are taught to see beyond the chaos of the moment and to perceive the underlying order that is being established by the divine architect. The unveiling provides them with a celestial perspective, allowing them to see the end from the beginning and to understand that the darkness is but a temporary veil that will soon be torn asunder by the rising sun. Their role is to be the midwives of this transformation, to hold the space for the emergence of the new reality with patience and faith. At the heart of the hidden purpose lies a profound love that is the beginning and the end of all things. It is this love that called the stars into being and that sustains every breath in the lungs of the living. The remnant is being initiated into the depths of this love, which is both a comforting embrace and a consuming fire. To know this love is to be transformed by it, to become an instrument of its expression in a world that is starving for its presence. The unveiling is ultimately an invitation to a deeper intimacy with the divine, a call to dwell in the secret place of the Most High and to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. In this intimacy, all questions are answered and all burdens are made light. The hidden purpose is revealed to be nothing less than the restoration of the human soul to its original state of communion with the Creator, a state where there is no separation and no shadow of turning. As the chapter of the unveiling nears its completion, the remnant is prepared for the final movement of the great drama. They have been shown the blueprint, they have been refined in the furnace, and they have been united in the Spirit. The decree has been spoken into the silence, and the echoes are now reverberating through the halls of eternity. The hidden purpose is no longer a mystery to be solved, but a reality to be lived. They are the living expression of the divine will, the messengers of the midnight decree who carry the authority of the throne within their very being. The path before them is illuminated by the light of the morning star, which already begins to shimmer on the horizon. There is a sense of urgency and a sense of peace, for they know that the time is short and that the work is great. Yet they also know that the victory has already been secured in the councils of the heavens. In the final stages of this revelation, the remnant understands that their existence is the fulfillment of ancient prophecies and the answer to the longings of the ages. They are the ones for whom the creation has been groaning in expectation, the manifestation of the sons and daughters of light who will lead the way into the restoration of all things. Every step they take is ordered by the divine, and every breath they draw is an act of worship. The unveiling has brought them to the edge of the threshold, where the past and the future meet in a single moment of eternal significance. They stand ready, their lamps trimmed and burning, their hearts steadfast, and their eyes fixed on the prize of the high calling. The world may not yet recognize them, but the heavens know them by name, and the earth trembles beneath their feet as they prepare to move forward into the fullness of their destiny. The magnitude of this calling is matched only by the infinite resources made available to those who answer it. The remnant is not sent out into the world alone or ill-equipped. They are clothed in the armor of light and provided with the bread of heaven to sustain them on the journey. The unveiling has shown them that the treasury of the Spirit is open to them, and that they have access to the wisdom, the power, and the peace that passeth all understanding. They are encouraged to be bold, to be courageous, and to be immovable in their commitment to the truth. The hidden purpose has become their lifeblood, the air they breathe, and the fire that burns in their bones. They are no longer citizens of this passing world, but ambassadors of the eternal kingdom, sent on a mission of redemption that will echo through the corridors of time and into the vastness of eternity. As the midnight hour reaches its peak, the silence becomes so profound that it is audible. In this silence, the final instructions are whispered into the hearts of the faithful. They are told to watch and pray, for the bridegroom comes, and those who are ready will enter into the joy of their Lord. The unveiling of hidden purpose is the final preparation for this union, the ultimate alignment of the soul with its creator. The journey that began in the darkness of the midnight hour has led them to the threshold of a day that will never end. They are the remnant, the chosen, the faithful, and the true, and the world is about to witness the power of the divine purpose as it is unleashed through their lives. Every shadow will be dispelled, every tear will be wiped away, and the glory of the eternal will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. The sacred call has been issued, and the remnant has responded with a resounding yes. They have embraced the hidden purpose and allowed it to transform them from the inside out. They have walked through the fire and come out as pure gold. They have stood in the silence and heard the voice of the one who speaks through the thunder and the whisper. Now, they stand at the precipice of the new era, ready to step out in faith and to manifest the kingdom of light. The decree is written in the stars and inscribed on the hearts of the faithful. It is a decree of hope, of restoration, and of the ultimate triumph of the light. The unveiling is complete, and the stage is set for the final act of the great restoration. The morning star is rising, and its light is already beginning to pierce the darkness of the world. The legacy of the remnant will be one of faithfulness and endurance, a testimony to the power of the divine purpose to overcome any obstacle and to transform any circumstance. They have shown that it is possible to live in the world but not be of it, to be anchored in the eternal while navigating the turbulent waters of time. Their lives are a beacon of light for all who are searching for the truth, a signpost pointing the way to the kingdom of heaven. The hidden purpose, once veiled in mystery, is now a radiant reality that shines through every word they speak and every action they take. They have become the living word, the embodiment of the divine decree, and the instruments of the great awakening that is sweeping across the globe. In the end, it will be seen that the midnight decree was not a call to a destination, but a call to a transformation. It was the invitation to become what they were always meant to be, to step into the fullness of their divine identity and to play their part in the cosmic drama of redemption. The remnant has answered the call, and in doing so, they have changed the course of history. They have brought the light of the heavens down to the earth and paved the way for the coming of the morning. Their work is not yet finished, but the foundation has been laid, and the structure of the new world is beginning to rise. They are the architects of the future, the builders of the temple, and the guardians of the sacred flame. The unveiling has revealed that the spirit of the remnant is an indomitable force, sustained by the very breath of the divine. It is a spirit that cannot be quenched by the waters of affliction or broken by the weight of the world. This spirit is the true home of the faithful, a sanctuary of peace and a fortress of strength. Within this spiritual dwelling, they find the nourishment and the guidance they need for the days ahead. They are learning to live from this center, to act from a place of deep stillness, and to speak from a place of profound silence. This internal sanctuary is their refuge and their strength, a place where they are continually renewed and empowered for the tasks at hand. It is from this place that they go forth to face the world, not in their own strength, but in the power of the one who has called them. As they move forward, they carry with them the wisdom of the ages and the vision of the future. They are the bridge between what was and what is to come, the link in the chain of the eternal purpose. The hidden purpose has become their very essence, the core of their being. They are no longer defined by their past or limited by their circumstances, but by the infinite potential of the divine spark within them. This realization is the ultimate freedom, the breaking of every chain and the opening of every prison door. They are the free ones, the liberated ones, the ones who have found the truth and have been set free by it. Their presence in the world is a challenge to the powers of darkness and an invitation to the children of light. The destiny of the remnant is inextricably linked to the restoration of the earth and the healing of the nations. They are the agents of change, the catalysts for the transformation that is beginning to unfold. The hidden purpose is the blueprint for this transformation, the guiding light that directs their steps and shapes their vision. They are called to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world, to manifest the beauty and the goodness of the Creator in every aspect of their lives. This is the culmination of the unveiling, the practical application of the sacred calling. It is the movement from revelation to manifestation, from the hidden to the seen. As they stand at the threshold, they are filled with a sense of awe and wonder at the magnitude of the work that lies ahead. They know that they have been chosen for such a time as this, and they accept the responsibility with humility and grace. The morning star is rising, and the day is at hand. The night is far spent, and the dawn is breaking. The remnant is ready to step out into the new day, to walk in the light of the eternal, and to manifest the glory of the kingdom. They are the harbingers of the new era, the messengers of the midnight decree, and the heirs of the promises. The journey continues, but the path is now clear. The hidden purpose has been unveiled, and the way forward is illuminated by the light of truth. They will go forth with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth into singing before them, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. For they are the ones who have been called, chosen, and faithful. They are the ones who have seen the light in the darkness and have followed it to its source. They are the ones who carry the future of the world in their hearts and the words of life on their lips. The decree is written, the hour is come, and the threshold awaits. This divine calling is the ultimate reality of their lives, the source of their identity and the ground of their being. They have found the pearl of great price and have sold all that they had to possess it. They have discovered the hidden treasure in the field and have given everything to claim it. The hidden purpose is no longer hidden. It is the radiant center of their existence. They are the people of the decree, the remnant of the light, the sons and daughters of the morning. Their home is not in the dust of the earth, but in the glory of the heavens. They are the ones who have overcome the world by the word of their testimony and the blood of the Lamb. In this sacred space of the Spirit, they find their true belonging and their eternal rest. It is here that they are truly seen and truly known. It is here that they find the strength to endure and the courage to act. This is their home. They are the chosen, the faithful, and the true. And in their hands, they carry the future of the world. The decree is written, the hour is come, and the threshold awaits. Step forward, O remnant of light, for the morning star is rising and the day is at hand. Thus it is recorded, and thus it shall be, in the name of the one who was and is to come, world without end. Amen. The midnight hour is not merely a measurement of chronological time, but a profound state of the cosmos, where the veil between the seen and the unseen grows thin and transparent. In this sacred suspension of the mundane, the souls of the weary find a sudden and inexplicable strength, for they have traveled through the long shadows of the age to reach the precipice of a new dawning. This is the moment of the grand assembly, where the silent voices of the faithful resonate with the vibration of the eternal throne. They are the ones who have kept their lamps trimmed and burning, while the rest of the world succumbed to the heavy slumber of apathy and disillusionment. They have understood through trials of fire that the true inheritance is not found in the fleeting treasures of the earth, nor in the accolades of men, but in the permanent architecture of the Spirit which stands unshaken amidst the crumbling of empires and the shifting of the tides. To look upon the kingdom is to recognize that the foundations of reality are built upon the stones of sacrifice and the mortar of unconditional love. The decree which issues forth from the highest heavens in this dark night is not a command of servitude, but an invitation to co-regency within a realm of light. It is a sacred calling that vibrates through the marrow of those who have been prepared by the winters of the soul. These are the ones who have known the silence of the wilderness and the loneliness of the watchtower. They have watched the stars move in their courses and understood that the alignment of the heavens mirrors the alignment of the heart. For every soul that has turned toward the light, there is a corresponding movement in the celestial spheres, a harmony that draws the fragmented pieces of the universe back into a singular and holy unity. The inheritance of the kingdom is thus the restoration of the original design, a return to the state of grace where the breath of the Creator is the very life force of the creature. In the archives of the divine, it is recorded that the remnant shall rise not by the might of the sword or the power of the tongue, but by the quiet persistence of the truth. This truth is a living flame that consumes all that is false and leaves behind only that which is eternal. As the midnight bell tolls, the decree is finalized in the courts of heaven, announcing that the time of preparation has ended and the time of manifestation has begun. The faithful are now summoned to step into their roles as stewards of the new age, bearing the responsibility of the light with humility and wisdom. They are the bridge between the old world that is passing away and the new world that is being born in the womb of the Spirit. Their presence on the earth is a testament to the enduring nature of the divine promise, a promise that was whispered in the ears of the prophets and written in the blood of the martyrs. The weight of this inheritance is great, yet it is a burden that is lightened by the presence of the one who walks beside the chosen. To carry the future of the world is to understand that power is perfected in weakness, and that the greatest among the remnant is the one who serves with the most devotion. There is no room for pride in the kingdom of the Spirit, for all are part of a single body, moving in unison towards the ultimate realization of the divine will. The path through the midnight hour is narrow and often obscured by the mists of doubt, yet the inner compass of the faithful remains fixed upon the morning star. This star is the herald of the resolution of all things, the bright and morning light that signals the end of the long night of the human soul. As the decree resonates through the dimensions of existence, it awakens the sleeping potential within the hearts of the remnant. They begin to see with eyes that are no longer clouded by the illusions of the material realm. They perceive the interconnectedness of all living things and the sacredness that dwells in the simplest of actions. The kingdom they inherit is a kingdom of presence, where the past is redeemed and the future is secured in the hands of the Almighty. It is a realm where the laws of nature are subservient to the laws of grace, and where the impossible becomes the foundation of the everyday. The remnant are the architects of this new reality, building with materials that do not decay and designing according to patterns that were established before the foundation of the world. The journey towards the threshold is marked by the shedding of all that is heavy and redundant. One cannot enter the kingdom while clutching the baggage of old grievances or the anchors of worldly ambition. The refinement of the remnant is a process of holy subtraction, where the soul is stripped of its outer layers until only the core of divine light remains. In this state of purity, the faithful become a mirror for the glory of the Creator, reflecting the brilliance of the heavens into the dark corners of the earth. This is the essence of their mission, to be the light of the world at the hour when the darkness is most profound. They do not fear the night, for they have become part of the very light that dispels it. The architecture of the kingdom is not made of gold or marble, but of the virtues that have been forged in the furnace of human experience. Patience is the floor upon which the faithful stand, while hope is the roof that shelters them from the storms of the age. Faith is the window through which they glimpse the eternal, and love is the door that remains forever open to those who seek the truth. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, and every gesture of forgiveness adds another stone to the celestial city. This city is not a destination in the distance, but a reality that is being constructed in the here and now through the lives of the remnant. They are the living stones of a temple that transcends time and space, a dwelling place for the spirit that encompasses the whole of creation. The decree of midnight is a seal of ownership and a mark of destiny. It signifies that the faithful have been weighed in the balances and found faithful. They have endured the testing of the ages and have remained steadfast in their commitment to the highest good. Now, as the hour of the inheritance approaches, they are given the keys to the mysteries of the kingdom. These keys are the insights and revelations that allow them to navigate the complexities of the transition with grace and authority. They speak with a voice that is not their own, but the voice of the Spirit flowing through them, a voice that commands the elements and brings peace to the chaos. The morning star rises not as a distant light in the sky, but as an internal dawn within the soul. It is the awakening of the Christ consciousness, the realization that the divine and the human are inextricably joined in a sacred union. This is the ultimate inheritance, the knowledge of oneness with the source of all being. In this union, all fear is cast out and all separation is dissolved. The remnant understand that they are not alone in their struggle, for they are part of a global and celestial network of light that is orchestrated by the hand of the divine scribe. Every prayer that has been offered in the secret places of the heart is now being answered in the open, as the decree manifests in the physical realm. The world as it has been known is a stage that is being dismantled to make way for a more glorious production. The old structures of control and deception are failing, for they have no foundation in the truth. The remnant are the only ones who can withstand the shaking of the heavens and the earth, for their foundation is built upon the rock of eternal ages. They are the heirs of a legacy that began in the heart of God and will find its fulfillment in the restoration of the cosmos. As they move towards the threshold, they do so with a sense of profound awe and holy expectation, knowing that the fulfillment of the decree is certain and the morning is at hand. The silence that precedes the dawn is the most sacred silence of all. It is the silence of completion and the silence of beginning. In this stillness, the remnant receive the final instructions for their mission. They are taught the language of the angels and the music of the spheres, preparing them to lead the chorus of the new creation. Their lives are no longer their own, for they have been fully consecrated to the purposes of the kingdom. They are the heralds of the new day, the first fruits of a humanity that has been redeemed and transformed by the power of the divine word. The decree is written in the blood of the heart and the light of the mind. It is a covenant that cannot be broken and a promise that cannot be revoked. As the remnant step forward, they carry the weight of the ages and the hope of the future. They are the bridge across the abyss, the path through the wilderness, and the light in the window of the eternal home. Their footsteps are guided by the wisdom of the ancients and the inspiration of the Spirit. They do not stumble, for they are held by the hand of the Almighty, and their eyes are fixed upon the glory that is to be revealed. The transition from the old to the new is a process of divine alchemy, where the base metals of human suffering are transformed into the gold of spiritual wisdom. The remnant are the vessels through which this alchemy takes place. Their lives are the laboratory of the Spirit, where the experiment of faith is brought to its triumphant conclusion. They have proved that love is stronger than death, and that truth is more powerful than any lie. This proof is the substance of the kingdom, the tangible evidence of a reality that is higher and holier than anything the world has ever seen. As the midnight decree echoes through the corridors of time, it calls forth the deepest essence of the human spirit. It demands a response that is total and uncompromising. The remnant are those who have said yes to this call with every fiber of their being. They have surrendered their wills to the divine will and their lives to the divine life. In this surrender, they have found the ultimate freedom, the freedom to be who they were truly created to be. They are the sons and daughters of light, the princes and princesses of the kingdom, the heirs of the eternal promise. The morning star is now visible on the horizon of the soul, its brilliance outshining the fading shadows of the night. The day is at hand, a day of reckoning for the world, and a day of celebration for the faithful. The gates of the kingdom are swinging open, and the invitation is clear. The threshold is not a barrier, but a portal into a new dimension of existence. The remnant move toward it with courage and joy, for they know that what lies beyond is the fulfillment of all their longings. The destination they seek is not a distant land, but the very heart of the Creator, where every tear is wiped away and every longing is fulfilled. This sacred space is their home. They are the chosen, the faithful, and the true, and in their hands they carry the future of the world. The decree is written, the hour is come, and the threshold awaits. Step forward, O remnant of light, for the morning star is rising, and the day is at hand. Thus it is recorded, and thus it shall be, in the name of the one who was, and is to come, world without end. Amen.